G'day ladies and gents, and welcome to Disappointment. Yes, that's right, we're not talking about Emergence Gaming, although you better give him some love in the chat. But we're talking about the Gloucester Javelin. Now, this plane is surprisingly widely covered by the community, and a lot of people have bagged Gaijin out, I guess, for its poor flight model, and indeed I believe the flight model is broken. But I don't think I want to do that today. I just want to discuss maybe what you can do in it, or we'll just whine about how bad it is, really, because there's not a whole lot that is going for this plane. It's garbage. Literally every aspect of this plane is utter garbage. There's not a single thing that is good about the plane at its battle rating and at its current state. The Fire Streak missiles, it's got 4 of them, so more than the MiG-19, but 4, and they're terrible missiles too. You need to actually hit the missiles. They don't have a proximity fuse. The plane accelerates mediocre, I guess. It's about the same as a Sabre, really, or a MiG, about at that level. So it's not that great, and then it only tops out at about 1,000 kilometers per hour before it actually starts to rip. So you can't dive away from anything because you don't have enough speed. You can gain that speed, you can pick it up pretty easily, but your wings will take it all and they'll rip. They'll just go. So you can't dive. Can you climb though? No, you can't climb. A 163 will beat you. A Hunter will probably beat you. A Meteor can potentially beat you. Everything at that battle rating, like a MiG-15, can beat you. It's pretty bad. It's got, like I said, nothing going for it. Everything, there is at least one plane that can do everything better at the battle rating or below of the Javelin. LA-15. Let's take that as an example. The LA-15 has better low-speed handling than a Delta Wing. Don't know how that works, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they change the flight model, because you look at the plane, you look at the wing surface, and it should have an insanely low wing loading. So it should be really, really good at low speeds, right? You would expect. It should also be really good at high altitudes, because those wings produce a lot of lift, and at altitude there's no oxygen or no air particles. And so planes find it harder to stay at altitude if they don't have a large wing surface, and the Javelin has exactly that. So, what exactly are we going to do to try and make the Javelin work? Well, you look on the enemy team and you see Copshotter and Chippy, and you sort of go to your corner and cry, because you know they're probably some of the best pilots in the entire game. In fact, they competed in War Thunder's first professional esports scene and won 4th place as Team Think. But yeah, there's nothing I can do. I've already decided for myself that this match is a loss, and it indeed will be quite brutally. So, in order to get kills, I've decided that going head-on and committing to head-ons, full smoke, full everything, is the way to do it. MiG-15, commit. He's dead. What do I do now? I just go in, look for enemies to kill. I can't get guns on target in this plane, because it doesn't pull, it doesn't turn, and it rips at high speed. So you can literally do nothing. There's absolutely butt-fuck nothing it can do. There goes my boy. I actually can't read that. It's Chippy. Chippy going in for the shot on me. So I think, maybe if I get a lucky spray. But wing-mounted guns aren't really good for sniping, so no luck there. Plus it's Chippy, so he knows what he's doing. Now, F100 there. I go for the evade, and I try and turn around for him, but realize that he's going to pull away, and I have no speed, I have no energy, so I can't do anything. And remember that this is a 9.0 plane, so this will face the LA-15, and the Yak-30, and the C-2B. It'll fight alongside the Meteor Mark 8, and alongside the Banshee, which can compete with it without an issue. In fact, they'll throw it to the wayside, and they'll just absolutely destroy it. Which I think is ridiculous for a plane that's supposed to be the flagship or the original Delta Wing. So there we go. 3 kills. I just commit head-ons. That's the only way I can get kills in the Javelin. Apart from going in a 4-man squad and sort of working with my team. I can't do anything else. It's not that it's too difficult or that I can't make the plane work. The plane doesn't pull, it doesn't climb, it rolls barely, it doesn't turn, it has shit low speed handling compared to everything else at the battle rating. It doesn't have any top speed, it doesn't climb well, and the guns are wing mounted. On top of that, you've got the 4 worst missiles in the entire game at the moment, and there's nothing going for it. It's a terrible, terrible plane. So, what should Gaijin do about it? Well, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what Gaijin should do about it. I've been told that the flight model should be radically different, and I'll assume that it should be, and so that would be the best logical fix for it. And a suitable battle rating adjustment, of course. If this thing is an 8.0 level plane, then it should be 8.0. I don't know that, because I don't know what the flight model statistics are, and I really, at this point, don't care. I just want a functioning Delta Wing in the game, please. It's a little bit disappointing that Gaijin decided that the very first Delta Wing plane should be garbage. I don't really like that, and I think whilst the Super Sabre versus MiG-19 is a really, really good combo, and it was a really, really good idea, I don't think shoving the Javelin to the corner and pretending it doesn't exist is a good way to handle it. I think what we should do is, when eventually more jets come, maybe they should have added the Javelin with them. But for now, I think they should have just kept it at F-100 and MiG-19, because the Javelin, I would rather see a competitive plane that, ruins a 1v1, I guess, to test it, than to see a non-competitive plane. Because all it's going to do is it's going to put people off, because people will grind for the Javelin first, and they'll expect, hey, I've got my first rank 6 jet, I'm happy now, everything's good, and then they'll just get shafted, pardon me, and they'll just get completely ruined by 8.0s, and it's just not fun. And there's not a whole lot that you can do about that, apart from improving the flight model. I mean, look at the plane, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. But the plane, its looks don't count for anything, because a B-57 can catch it, outrun it, outturn it, and outgun it. You might as well fly the B-57 at 9.0 if you're going to fly this thing, because it's just about as competitive. And that's the issue that I have with the Javelin. The fact that the broken flight model actually made it to the live server. And that kind of reminds me of the Tyler 1 meme, where he's screaming, how did it make it to live servers? It sort of feels like that, but I guess a little bit less autistic. It's just, I'd much prefer Gaijin fix this plane right away and get to it really quickly and address the issue. And if it's a 9.3, then put it at 9.3. The dev server flight model didn't feel nearly as bad, but obviously it's a placeholder. I think I would prefer the placeholder flight model for the time being. It's just terrible. There's nothing you can do except sit in the corner and cry and wish it were better. But, if you're flying a 4-man, I guess you can make it work. But until then, I think Gaijin would be best. It would be in Gaijin's best interest to get a move on with fixing the flight model. I'd really like to see a nice competitive Javelin in the game. It'd be kind of cool. 4 fire streaks and Aidens on the wings. You could play it nice and slow, which would be the way that it would ideally be played, and you could sort of turn, and that would be the gem, because it is in the medial line. So my guess would be it would follow that sort of line of thinking, where the medial line and that line in general is about turning and about getting inside your enemy, where you don't have the speed, but you have the energy retention. And it's a real shame to see that it's nowhere near where it should be. But I guess we'll just have to wait, because Gaijin, being the snail of all wisdom, they do their thing in good time. And patience is one thing that we need to have with Gaijin, because they're a small team, and there's not a lot that we can do to sort of assist them, because at the end of the day, they're the one that needs to make the change themselves. We can give them data, we can give them information, we can, speak to the mods on the forums and discuss this civilly. Mind you, don't get angry, be civil. But do understand that this is surely not the final product. And I really, really do hope that this gets fixed. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little bit upsetty. Anyway, ladies and gents, take care, and I'll catch you next time.